What's good, y'all? What's good? What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin', everybody? Thank y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all. This is not my normally scheduled time, but I feel like I just had to go in. There's a lot going on, and it couldn't wait till Thursday. Couldn't wait till Thursday, so I just wanted to tap in and get some of that love, get some of that energy. It was a great show last night, by the way. If you missed episode 122, you can check out the rewatch right now. It's in the page. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. This is the freestyle edition episode. This is not a numbered episode. This is a freestyle edition episode. There's just so much going on in the world. It won't wait. It won't be able to wait till Thursday. So I wanted to talk about it right now, right here. Thank y'all for those who popped in already. Some of our day ones already tapped in. I told y'all, you just never know when I'm gonna pop up and give y'all this good food, give y'all this good energy. So again, thank y'all for popping in, tapping in today on this freestyle edition of the podcast. Real quick, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show. Bravo section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Again, on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. I always love, and we feed off that. Again, shout out to some of our day ones already in the building, and some of our badge holders are in the building. Shout out to King Prince, one of our badge holders. Shout out to Lisa, Krista, Culture, and Star Power in the building. Thank y'all for tapping in. Appreciate y'all a million. So what I wanted to get into without further ado, like I said, this is a freestyle edition of the podcast. It's going crazy right now. It's going crazy. The anchor or sportscaster Joy Taylor from FX Sports, or FS Sports, I should say. Sorry. She's being accused of some serious allegations, and I wanted to go over some of them because it's very interesting. Because I have a question at the end of it as well too. So moving forward, so right now, Fox, Skip Bayless, and others on 14 counts, including sexual battery. The suit alleges that Skip Bayless offered the plaintiff $1.5 million to have sex with him, and that the FS1 executive grabbed her by the butt as well by this former hairstylist that used to work for FX. I keep saying FX, for Fox Sports. Again, she alleges that the network executive used his position for sexual harassment of women. As well known that Skip Bayless touched her inappropriately and propositioned her for sex. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? That's wild. The young lady name, I know I'm going to tear her name up. Nassine Farahi. Nassine Farahi, who says she worked at Fox Sports from 2012 through last August, so through 2023 of August. Made series of allegations that a 42-page lawsuit obtained by front office Sports, Fox Sports, FS1, FS2, Fox Sports, the EVP Charlie Dixon, Skip Bayless, FS1 host Joy Taylor are listed as defendants in the lawsuit. This is wild. And it also says that in the suit that was filed Friday in Los Angeles, Farahi alleges that Dixon, the head of content for SS1, grabbed her by the buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood. When she relayed the encounter to Joy Taylor, who happens to be one of the anchor ladies for FS Sports, allegedly told her to get over it. Can't make this up. This is what this lady says to her. This is what is alleged. Let me choose my words correctly. Alleged, right? So with all this going on, and if you follow the show that she has on FS Sports with is it Sam Acho? I think it's Sam Acho, or it could be his brother Emmanuel. No, it's Sam Acho. No, not Paul Pierce. Let me get the exact name right. I know Shady McCoy is one of the hosts. Joy Taylor. I know Joy Taylor. Well, let me get to that later. I want to focus on the story at hand because that's side note. Sorry. All right, so what they're saying, so it goes on to say that the lawsuit seeks a class action status on the behalf of Farahi and other non-exempt Fox employees working in California over the past 4 years. Farahi seeks unspecified monetary damages and a jury trial after starting work on Undisputed Morning Show starring Skip Bayless. The suit alleges that he began his advances. I'm stumbling up on words. Advances with lingering hugs, kisses on the cheek, while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Skip Bayless she was not interested in him, did not date at work. She also claims that she told Skip Bayless she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in efforts to halt his advances. So I don't know, or we don't know if that's true in the sense of she's having that real medical condition. But to think of a medical condition to tell a man no. Listen, fellas, of all ages, if you are sexually active or thinking about being sexually active, guess what? When you're dealing with women, when you're dealing with anyone, no means no. No means no. As a man, you have to know how to learn how to deal with rejection. It's okay. You know how many women is in the world? You know how many women that will want a guy who has money or has power, has reputation, has swag? If you talk to 100 women, fellas, just on law of averages alone, if you talk to 100 women, at least 50 is going to be down. Work the law of averages. And that's for the average looking dude. I'm not even talking about somebody that even has their stuff together. I'm talking about just a straight average dude, Joe Schmo, and just, he just out here. I'm not even talking about somebody that has a high paying job, that has their stuff together, have their life together. Then them averages go up, baby. You don't even have to be a handsome man to pull women. Just work the law of averages, dog. So to hear this is crazy to me. Shout out to IK Lover in the building. Absolutely no means no. There are over 8 billion people on this planet. Find the one that will say yes. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I don't understand. And I mean, even for women too. No means no, right? But in the sense of this story, we talking about dudes. I gotta hold the fellas, well, not the fellas, but hold these particular guys in. I gotta hold these guys in. Hold them accountable, because it don't make sense to me that these are older men. So they've been around the game for decades. I don't like. It's crazy to me how these men could be over 50 and don't understand no means no. Like, I honestly, I don't even necessarily have to get a no. If the energy, if you not my number one cheerleader, if you're not showing me that energy, that that, yo, like, I really like you, then I'm not jacking it at all. You ain't gonna get no phone calls, no texts, no nothing. I'm not trying to get up with you, no nothing. So I don't understand how these particular men who are rich, who are successful, the handsome part ain't up to me, it's up to the women. But you know, if you rich and successful, being handsome, do that really matter? For like, I'm being honest. Like, do that really matter if you're talking to 100 women and a woman sees successful and rich? Handsome go out the window. It don't even matter. So work your law of averages. Damn. I guess you want what you want. Hola, mi padres. Sunga por favor. Appreciate you, Diana, for tapping in and hitting us with the Spanish. Appreciate that. All right, so instead of Bayless becomes more aggressive over the years, according to the suit, he allegedly offered Fareed $1.5 million to have sex with him and claimed he could change her life. The suit also claims that Bayless accused Farahi of sleeping with Shannon Sharp, his co-host or co-star on, former co-star on Undisputed, the show Undisputed. Whoa. 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 So they trying to include Unc on this. This is wild. So, time out. $1.5 million to get buns? $1.5 million to get buns? Dude, I don't care if you take, and I'm just naming these women, right? But I don't care if you take Nicole Murphy, Megan Good, Halle Berry, Sally Richardson, Kelly Rowland, Beyonce, mix it all up in one and look 100 times better than her. $1.5 million? Man, please. Man, please. Out. Man, please. Man, 1.5? I don't care if she got the craziest bubble. I don't care if she got them racks. It's not happening, dog. No way, no how, no sir. Not happening. Okay. Approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Farahi. Miss Farahi responds, skip, stop. You have a wife. Mr. Bayless responds, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 or 4 wives? Miss Farahi responded that her father was dead. And when Mr. Bayless was taken back, she made an excuse to leave. Whoa. I don't. Whoa. So this is how they playing the game on this level. When you a millionaire, next level multi-millionaire, you offer millions to sleep with someone. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, what happened to being able to have charm? What happened to being able to having game? Whatever happened to being able to really liking somebody? And even if you just want to sleep with someone, whatever just happened to having, that Riz? What happened to having that G? What happened to having swag? This ain't swag. This screams, I ain't never clap no cheeks until I got my money. This is wild. And yes, ladies, all men are different. Each man use what he has to be able to sleep with you. So some guys use game. Some guys use their looks. Some guys use their money. Some guys use a combination of things. You get what I'm going with? Some guys also dirty Mac. Be aware of the guys that dirty Mac, ladies. Be aware. Because if a guy dirty Mac, and what that means, if he's talking bad about one guy to be able to sleep with you, then that guy ain't for you, baby. Alright, so, alright, moving on. Meanwhile, the suit alleges that Taylor began insulting Ms. Farahi on a personal and professional level. After friendship ended, the suit also alleges that Taylor mocked the English of Farahi, who is Persian descent. Her lengthy tenure at Fox Sports, not so, not so, not so. I'm sorry. Her lengthy tenure at Fox Sports, she also witnessed and suggests that she may have receipts to look back on her version of events, said by Daniel Wallach, a sports law attorney and co-host of podcast Conduct Detrimental. Just as importantly, she raises the issues with coworkers which with juror eyes could boost the credibility of these claims. Whoa. Whoa, this is crazy business. Ms. Farahi also brings forth a fourth Ms. Farahi brings forth this action because over a decade at Fox, she was forced, I'm sorry, because the thing keep going up and down. She was forced to endure misogynistic, racist, and racist work environment, which execs and talent, where they was allowed to physically and verbally abuse the workers with impunity. And this is all alleged, obviously. Shout out to Raven in the building. Appreciate you tapping and hit that like button, hit them hearts, y'all. Hit that like, hit them hearts. I want to see them hearts. I want to see them hearts. Appreciate it. The show built off love. We giving information, and it helps with the algorithm. So I appreciate that, y'all. Also, this case represents yet another long life cases of chronologic and the toxic culture at Fox, marked by bad faith promises and repeat failures to address a poisonous environment. So I'm going down on the lawsuit, y'all. I'm going down on the lawsuit. Okay, in 2007, makeup artist Rita Ragon sued ESPN, alleging that she was sexually harassed by host Jay Crawford and panelist Woody Page. All right, so that moves on to something. So they going on to the environment of Fox Sports, on the culture that was going on. But Joy Taylor is at the brunt of this, and it was also said that there was a story that Ms. Farahi was also at a party where she met Joy Taylor for drinks at a bar, and a man joined them at this particular party, and that turned out to be the same exec that grabbed her butt, who is named in the lawsuit as well. Let me go back up. What's this gentleman name again? Mr. Dixon, and he was buying them drinks, and she said that she could feel that Joy Taylor and this man had some sort of relationship outside of work, and the next couple of days later, she's seen the same man in the elevator, and she runs into the host Joy Taylor and said, "Hey, y'all, I seen the guy the other night that was buying us drinks. He's here in the building." And she quickly told Joy Taylor quickly told Ms. Farahi, "Hey, yo, whatever happens outside of work happens outside of work." And then like later on, they had some sort of dinner where Mr. Dixon brings his wife, Joy Taylor brings her husband, because mind you, Joy Taylor, I believe, is from Miami, and she's the brother of Hall of Fame greats defensive end. I forget his first name, Taylor. I forget his first name, but he's a Hall of Fame, or going to be a Hall of Fame. He used to play for the Miami Dolphins. Can't think of his name right now, but allegedly that they was at this dinner or whatever, and then her husband felt like the energy was kind of weird between his wife or ex-wife and this gentleman over here, Mr. Dixon, and later on they got divorced because of what he thinks or thought that they were sleeping around, or the alleged affair. So this right here, what do y'all think the implications moving forward for Joy Taylor? Because immediately what I think of is that she basically advanced in her career. Mind you, before the show, she has very little experience in, broadcasting. She grew up in a sports background, obviously, because she played sports. And her brother, like I said, is a Hall of Fame great. Well, he is a Hall of Famer, or going to be a Hall of Famer soon. He's a Miami great player. So that's that's her background in sports. She didn't have to necessarily go through the mud of working like little places here and there, and then really coming up. So on Fox Sports, and for those who don't know the story, we all know Undisputed and what Undisputed looked like. We're talking about with Skip Bayless, and we're talking about with Shannon Sharpe. Now, that show wasn't supposed to happen like that. It was supposed to be Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor got plugged in because of Mr. Dixon, allegedly. And Skip Bayless was fighting that. Like, they was having meetings, ongoing meetings, that they was trying to convince Skip Bayless to bring her on as a co-host or as a mediator. That's why if you ever watch Undisputed, Shannon Sharpe, aka Unc or Shay Shay or Uncle Shay, he always referred to the fact that he appreciates Skip Bayless for the opportunity because he fought for him to be there. He always mentioned that, but they never divulged the intricacies of who was next up and who was going to be a part of it. It ended up just being, Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, but they was really trying to make Joy Taylor the mediator, like how you watch, other sports shows like Kerry Champion, Molly Herm. You've seen them on Stephen A. Smith show now with Shannon Sharpe. Skip Bayless was not trying to hear that. And Mr. Dixon was basically saying, Skip, can you just do this for me as a favor? Anytime a man asks for a favor about a woman to another man, that means they doing stuff together. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. We don't know that to be a fact. This is all alleged. But the dots is connecting, right? So moving forward, this is going to be a terrible stain on her resume and just in her corner, because let's say she does continue to advance. Is it because that she worked hard, that she breaks great stories, that she has great takes? The notion and the sentiment is going to be as she has somebody in her corner, like a Mr. Dixon, who's the head of content of several networks on FX Sports. I keep saying FX, on Fox Sports, that he could just say, hey, I want this lady on this show, and that's just what it's going to be. Mind you, she has a show now. She has co-hosts on that show, of course, but at the same time, is she there because of her merit, that she earned that position within her work, or is she there because of the bust down politics? Like, let's be honest, right? And this is not talking bad about a woman. This has nothing to do necessarily with sexism. With sexism, right? This has everything to do with the fact that somebody is using their sex to advance. instead of just saying, oh, well, she's a woman, so she's gonna advance, or he's a man, so he's gonna advance. No, if you're using your sexual wiles to advance in the workplace, then you're not getting out the mud. You're not getting it out off your credibility and what you work for, right? So this is going to be a terrible stain on her moving forward. Now, if this stuff turns out not to be true, then hey, man, you gotta leave it alone. But this young lady sounds like she has proof of all the things that she is saying. She went into intricate details of all the stuff that I just laid out within the lawsuit. So moving forward, like, what do y'all think about this? Like, I like, to be honest, we in 2025, right? Do we think something like this is the first time something like this actually happened? If this was to be true, are we going to trick ourselves to believe that? Are we going to trick ourselves to believe that if this is true, that Joy Taylor is the first woman in show business to use her sexual wiles to advance in the workplace? Are we going to believe that? But this is sloppy. This is very sloppy because now it's out. Now people are going to fact check. Now people are going to dot the I's and cross the T's just because of this allegation. Now, mind you, Ms. Farahi did not even say how much she's looking for in the lawsuit. So the fact that she's suing all these companies within Fox Sports and within with Skip Bayless and all the other people named in the lawsuit, Joy Taylor, so on and so forth. Shannon Sharp is not listed in the lawsuit because he didn't do anything. He's being alleged of sleeping with Joy Taylor. No, he's being alleged of sleeping with Miss Farahi, and that's why Skip Bayless felt like, he had the energy that he had towards her, allegedly. So, this moving forward is going to be something to watch. While I'm actually not surprised. I'm not surprised about this either because, again, at the end of the day, we can't be led to believe that this is the first time something like this has happened. But this shit is sloppy. This shit is sloppy. So, is Joy Taylor for the streets? Is she for the streets? Is she for the streets? I want to know. Is she for the streets? Not for me, but is she for the streets? Because, again, the more she advances, at some point they're going to have to sit her down because they don't want the negative press. So if Ms. Farahi sued all these companies, right? She sued Skip Bayless, Mr. Dixon, and the companies within FX Sports based on the culture of FX Sports, because that was also named in the lawsuit, the culture that's built in FX Sports, working there as an employee, and she used the word impunity. Leads me to believe that this is not even going to go to trial. This is going to be settled out of court. And settling, people don't understand, settling out of court is not an admission of guilt. It's the cost of doing business. Because by going to court, you can end up paying more in lawyer fees for your lawyer, the other person's lawyer, and having the case called. You can actually end up paying more. You could also lose funding. You could also lose, ads and everything like that. That's all in the realm of business. So the cost of doing business is going to be cheaper to pay this woman and to call it a day. Now, if other people come out the woodwork to say, hey, yeah, I went through the same thing over here, then they're going to have proof. Because they're not going to pay everybody. But I believe that they're going to pay this young lady just to get rid of the story, because this is a bad stain. Mr. Dixon will recover because he's the head of content. He will recover. He's protected. The company itself is protected. It's a company. There's no face of the company. He's not even the owner. Joy Taylor is going to be a casualty of this. And her reputation is going to be sullied to the point where we may not see her after this. We may not see her after this. She may do something else, but we may not see her on Fox anymore. And if we see her on any other sports programming, we're not going to think, oh yeah, she's there because she earned her way, you know, doing this, that, and the third, and building herself up within the broadcasting world. We're going to think who she knew, who she knows, who did she sleep with to get in that position, because she had no experience prior to. So this right here is going to be something moving forward, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. She slept her way to the top. This is nasty business. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is nasty business, because what happens to the people that's really trying to get it out the mud? What happens to the people that's doing the ins and outs and have great takes, have the great personality, have the great look? Because they won't play, you know, bedroom games with you, they're not going to advance. They're not going to get along to go along. So what happened to being the most qualified to, you know, and getting the job? What happened to that? What happened to getting your education, getting experience, preparing yourself to be the very best at your position, to be hired at something? When clearly, if you look halfway decent and you give up that box, you could advance even further. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, moving on to our next subject. I believe everything's said in the lawsuit. Y'all saying it, not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all alleged. I mean, it don't sound like this lady's lying. I will say that. It don't sound like she's lying. All right, moving on to our next subject, or hot topic. New York City congestion price just hit yesterday. Which means is that the New York City has introduced, or New York State has introduced, a congestion relief zone. Toll effective as of yesterday. This is for vehicles that enter Manhattan Central Business District, basically 60th Street and lower, right? By law, the first 60 days only the established tolls would be collected. There will be no additional fees charged or fines. The program will reduce traffic and travel time. It would lead safer streets and cleaner air, reduce emissions, and improve quality of life. That's what they're saying that this is supposed to do. All BS, except for the fact that it will reduce traffic, because New Yorkers are going to find other ways to get around New York City. That's a fact. Now, cleaner air, less cars, less gas in the air, cleaner air. Makes sense. Proven quality of life. It's New York City. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You got rats as big as Master Splinter. There's no such thing as create better quality of life. You got more rats than people in New York City. So miss me with that. So at the end of the day, this is about the money, y'all. This is about the money. If you get a portion of people that's going to continue being in that area, $9 a pass, and it says it's going to be $9 with the easy pass, then they making money hand over fist in that particular area alone. In that particular area alone. So what it sounds like people are going to do, because I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, what it sounds like people are going to do, they're going to drive as close to the area, park up, and walk into the area, bust their 1-2, and get up out the area. Because when you grow up in New York City, you learn how to walk. That's what we do. We walk. So the fact that moving forward, that people have to pay $9 with the easy pass, it's also going to be $2.25 on weekends, and on days that from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. New York City, man, is, I love my city, but yo, they making money hand over fist. Now, like I said, it will reduce traffic. It will reduce traffic. That is a fact. It will do that. Um, but that's just for that particular area. It's not for the whole Manhattan. It's not for the whole area of New York City. It's just for that particular area. Um, I feel bad for people that have to work in that area. I'm pretty sure that at some point they will have to factor the money that they paying you into the traveling costs in and out the area as well. But they said they will allow certain exceptions. Drivers will be charged a toll on their Easy Pass once per day when they enter the congestion relief zone. This includes streets of Manhattan below, including 60th Street. It says 60th Street. Drivers without Easy Pass will be mailed a toll bill to the address of registered vehicles. So, what do y'all think about that, man? Like, I mean, I already told y'all what I think about this. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it will reduce traffic. It will reduce travel time because there's going to be less cars in the area. Um, Less cars, less, less admissions, things of that nature. But when they say that it improves quality of life, it's New York City. There's no such thing. Get your money and get out. That's the thing. I just think it's egregious. For decades, people been able to travel in New York City for for a fee, but it's always been affordable. To get a dollar cab, like if you in your boroughs, you got dollar cabs, right? If you going from borough to borough, if you have a car, you drive, or you take the train, which is the fastest way to get to another borough for real. Is by taking the train because you don't have to worry about parking. And it was cheap. But now, and then mind you, this is for this year, and they plan on moving it up. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe by 2018 they're gonna move it up to about $15, and then I believe 2031 is gonna be like $31. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but they're going to have hikes within this. They already telling people like, get while the getting is good. This is as good as it's gonna get. So this is not going anywhere. It's only going to get higher. So, like, this is crazy. This is so for better. So you mean to tell me for better traffic, cleaner air in New York City, people got to pay for that. People got to pay for that. That's wild. I know the people that probably live there. If you live there, and your job is in walking, in walking distance, you probably love this because now it's less traffic. If you have a car, you don't have to drive it nowhere for real. You know what I mean? You can just keep it parked up, move it, when you need to move it or whatever the case may be for the street cleaning. But this right here is wild. So at the end of the day, man, like, yo, get y'all money, people, because New York City is going to take it. They're going to take every bit of the money that you out here making. Yeah, they're going to take every bit of this money that you're out here making, man. For real. It's sad, though. I must say it's sad, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Like I said, the NFL season is officially over. It's going into the playoffs this week coming up. So you have them bottom tier teams, and they figured out who's going to have, the first pick in the draft, second pick in the draft. So the NFL draft order is available and ready for those first, basically the first 14 teams. But I'm gonna go over the top 10 teams of the NFL order. So again, that's why I love the NFL, because the worst teams get those first picks, right? It makes a whole bunch of sense. It makes it even, right? So the team with the first pick in the draft will be Tennessee Titans, followed by Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, the New England Patriots with the number 4 pick. Number 5th pick will be Jacksonville Jaguars. Right after is Las Vegas Raiders. I like to call them the New Jersey Jets because they play in New Jersey. Same thing with the Giants. They play in New Jersey. They should be the New Jersey. But the New York Jets, Carolina Panthers have pick number 8. New Orleans Saints pick number 9, and the Chicago Bears have pick number 10. So that's the NFL draft for 2025 order that they're going to have. Now, I don't believe this order is going to stay the same because having a quarterback is the most important thing in the NFL. It's the most important piece that you can have. So there's about 6 teams in the top 10 that could use a quarterback. Tennessee Titans could use a quarterback. Cleveland Browns, as much as I love Deshaun Watson, man, it kills me to see that he's a shell of himself. But he's such an elite player. He was such an elite player. Like, I used to argue with people, he's the second best quarterback in the league. I'm not even going to have a real argument with you. His arm, his ability to scramble, his mind on the field. But that was the last time we seen him on the Houston Texans, and he's really fallen off. So they need to upgrade the quarterback position. Cleveland Browns, New York Giants. Do I really need to say New York Giants? Terrible organization. I like the quarterback that New England has. I believe if they continue to build him up, that he's going to be a valuable piece. Give May a chance. And he's showing that he deserves a chance. So give Drake May a chance. Even though I believe that Shador is better. So I'm going, again, I got Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, New York Giants. The Las Vegas Raiders need a quarterback. The New York Jets need a quarterback. I'm a reserve judgment for the Saints because they got the young boy over there from South Carolina that's working. I give him a chance to cook. In Chicago Bears, they just got Caleb Williams. They said Caleb Williams was a once-in-a-lifetime generational quarterback. So if he is that, then y'all don't need a quarterback, right? Because he was struggling this year. And I know this is his rookie year. If y'all believe in him like that, continue to develop him and continue to put pieces around him. They got great pieces around him already, but continue to bring in guys that can build the type of bond that he needs to be a better quarterback. They need that chemistry. Having players, it's not about having better players around a quarterback. It's about having better chemistry. So with the Tennessee Titans, the top players in this draft, you got Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, T. Toretto McMillan, Will Johnson, Ashton Genty, James Pierce, Kevin Banks Jr., Mason Graham, and Abdul Carter from Penn State. So with that first pick, I honestly believe that the Tennessee Titans will trade that pick. They need a quarterback, but I believe that they will trade that pick mainly because Deion Sanders already came out and says he's going to do his due diligence in making sure that his son goes to the right situation in an organization that has a history of believing in their quarterbacks, has a history of putting the pieces together in their organization. Tennessee Titans have a shaky history. They have a shaky history. Outside of the fact they do have a history on having quarterbacks that look like us though. So I do respect that. Because when you think of the history of the Tennessee Titans or the Houston Oilers, their history, you think of Warren Moon. You think of Steve Air McNair. You think of Vince Young. You think of those type of caliber quarterbacks that was in their programs that look like me and you. And Shador fits that bill. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, I'm going to draft Shador. I'm not even trading the pick. I'm not even thinking about trading the pick. I'm not even thinking about it. You're going to be drafted. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, I'm going to do what it takes to ensure Deion Sanders that we're going to build around him and we're going to really build this thing up. But as of late, the Tennessee Titans, they have a history of drafting quarterbacks, and it's just shaky business as of late. Now, not to mention a guy like Jake Locker, after his first season, he got up out of there. He was the first overall draft pick. Got up out of there. It's like, yo, I retired. I'm not built for this NFL life. The other kid that they just drafted from Liberty, Malik, I can't remember his last name, but I believe he's on Green Bay now. And he never fully developed. The other kid, Will Levis from Kentucky, he never developed properly, even though he does have tools to be a decent quarterback. But the development of the quarterbacks in that organization is very shaky. If I'm Shador, I don't want to go to Tennessee. But if I'm Tennessee, I want you in Tennessee. I believe that we have the structure and what we can do to change this thing around. So, but I believe that Tennessee will end up trading that pick to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I believe Shador is going to go to the Raiders. Second pick overall, Cleveland is not trading that pick. They're not. They're not. I think they're going to take Travis Hunter. I believe that. Some people say, well, how are you going to get Travis Hunter when you need a quarterback? You need Cam Ward. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm taking a guy. I'm taking the best player on the board if I'm Cleveland. They're talking about trading Myles Garrett, which is going to open up for more picks. So if I'm Cleveland, I want to take a guy who I feel like is going to give me the best chance to win. Cam Ward is a good quarterback, really good quarterback. But I want to take the best player. I want to take Travis on my team so that way when I trade for Myles Garrett, there's going to be other opportunities for other quarterbacks that we want. Mind you, they wanted Deshaun Jackson. They could have brought back Falco, not Falco. What's my man on the Ravens, the quarterback from the Ravens, not too long ago. But he was just there last year and he had a balled out season, right? So even though the Browns need a franchise quarterback, when the last time did they draft a franchise quarterback? I'm taking the best player available, and if I have to choose, I'd rather have Travis Hunter on my team, and with the opportunity to bring back, I can't think of this guy name right now. My brain froze. But I would bring back the quarterback from last year on the Cleveland Browns when they was in the playoffs for 1 year. Or I would draft Kyle McCord in the later rounds. For those who haven't seen Kyle McCord this year, has been balling. He led Syracuse to, I believe, what they was like 11-2. Won their bowl game. He has been developed into a better quarterback. If Kyle McCord was still on Ohio State, they would be better. They would be much better. Will Howard is a downgrade to Kyle McCord. People were just making Kyle McCord the scapegoat because they couldn't beat my team. They couldn't beat Michigan. When they brought in Will Howard, y'all couldn't beat us either, and y'all had a better team. Kyle McCord is the better quarterback than Will Howard. But that's not the argument, right? But I would take a chance on Kyle McCord for his value, trading back, and that way I could get Travis Hunter instead of bringing in Cam Ward and then trying to get an athlete of Travis Hunter's caliber. And it's not going to happen. It's not the same. So I'm taking Travis Hunter if I'm the Cleveland Browns. Now, if I'm the New York Giants, I would take Cam Ward, but they're not going to take Cam Ward. The New York Giants just don't have a history of drafting quarterbacks that look like us. They don't. You could be mad all you want. They're not going to draft him. Now, there's a guy that came out to say, yeah, no, they're going to draft him, and then they're going to bring the offensive coordinator to be the new head coach and this, that, and the third. I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. No, no, no. No, no, no. The Giants will draft a quarterback, but it won't be Cam Ward. It won't be Cam Ward. I really believe that. The Giants is a terrible organization. They don't make the proper moves based on talent. As y'all can see, they chose to get rid of Saquon Barkley for the fraction of what it would cost for a fraction of what it would cost to keep. They chose to keep their quarterback for the fraction it would cost to keep Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones is terrible. He's been terrible. And every year, Giants fans would be like, yo, you got to give him a chance. He's terrible. He's showing you that he's terrible. He's had good plays here or there, but is that the standard for a franchise quarterback? Is that the standard for a winning organization? No, he's terrible. He's been terrible. So you let Saquon Barkley go, who makes this terrible quarterback look halfway decent. You let him go. He goes off on Eagles. I'm still mad at the Eagles for not letting him have the chance to break the record. It's not like he's going to get hurt in the last game. What's the chances of him getting hurt? He's been playing all year long. It would take you one half to get them damn yards. Y'all could have let him play and break the record. These records are made to be broken. The league been around for hundreds of years, and how many people get a chance to break this record? So I'm still mad at the Eagles for not letting him do that. But they let Saquon go, their best player on both sides of the ball. They keep Daniel Jones. He looks so terrible that y'all end up releasing him anyway. It's a terrible organization. From jump, they could have kept Saquon, and they could have used that money to get better on both sides of the ball and let this young man cook. What's the kid that played yesterday? And for the past 2 weeks, he looked all right. He don't look like a franchise quarterback, but he look all right. He could get you through a season. And then going into this year, you would have kept your best player. You would have added real pieces. And then you still finding your quarterback for the future. So I don't believe the Giants will draft Cam Ward. I think they will find a way to boost up Carson Beck or another quarterback, and the Giants will draft that quarterback. I really believe that. New England Patriots, I think they're going to take T. Terrell McMillan. Drake May is a developmental quarterback. He's been playing really good. He looked good for his first year. Is he the franchise? It's still the jury's still out. But if you want him to develop and to develop faster, you got to give him targets. And T. Terrell, he's a big target. He's 6'5". I believe he's like 210 pounds. He's quick. He's more quick than fast, but he gets down the field. He high points the ball. He's, he 50-50, ball in the air type of guy. He runs really good routes as well. He could be a little bit better out the blocks, but, he's a solid number one receiver in my opinion. And if Travis Hunter's not on the board, which I don't think he will be, I'm taking T. Terrell McMillan to give Drake May help and to help him develop. Next, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe that they would take Will Johnson, the Michigan cornerback. Salute to Michigan, my team. They need help on the defensive side of the ball, and I think they would take him. He's the best player on the board at that point, in my opinion. Las Vegas Raiders, like I said, I think they would trade. I think they would trade out, so I have the Tennessee Titans at that spot, and by that time, I think the Tennessee Titans will take Cam Ward. See what I'm saying? They have a history on drafting players like us that could run, that could throw. They will take a chance on Cam Ward. And Cam Ward's abilities. See, the thing with Cam Ward, too, he has ability, but he has bust potential, too. So they have to make sure that they have to highlight everything that he does well. Same thing that the Baltimore Ravens did with Lamar Jackson. They have to highlight everything that he does well. He's athletic. He throws the ball well. He sees the field. He sees the field well for passes going deep, but intermediate, short passes, he need work because it's very slow. And then after playing with Miami for the year, I'm not sure if he hasn't regressed, because with that Miami offensive line, there was times literally during the game that Cam Ward was standing, just looking. He was standing there. He wasn't in quarterback, stance where he's about to throw the ball. He's standing there literally because that offensive line was so good. So that could also be a regression on learning how to process the field, because you have too much time. In the NFL, you're not going to have that type of time. But I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will end up, the Tennessee Titans will end up with Cam Ward. Next, I have the Las Vegas, or next I have the New York Jets at number 7. I think they're going to take James Pierce Jr., the defensive end, even though they need a quarterback. For the value of that pick, whether it's because the top quarterbacks are going to be gone by that time, I don't think Kyle McCord value is that at that 7th pick. I think his value is more so early 2nd round, maybe late 1st round, but definitely 2nd round. So I don't think he gets taken with that pick right there. I think that it will be James Pierce. You boost up that defensive front, whether he's going to play defensive end or outside linebacker rush in. But his first step is crazy, and they need to continue to boost that defense. And at some point, they're going to find themselves a quarterback if they care. Next will be the Carolina Panthers. I think they would take Calvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle from Texas. You need to protect young Bryce. Young Bryce the lights has been turning on. The lights has been turning on when an organization can show that they believe in their quarterback and highlight what he does well, not what you want him to do well, but highlight what he does well. He's going to have a faster progression. And bringing a guy like this for that offensive line to protect them will give this man more time to operate. NOLA, or New Orleans Saints, I think at number 9 will take Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan. I mean, hey, man, it's Michigan, baby. He is the best interior defensive player in this draft. This man is a beast. And showed out against Ohio. I wish he would have played in the Alabama game, even though we won anyway, but still. But I think New Orleans Saints will benefit from having Mason Graham on their team. He's such a great player, and he will boost that interior defense. And then at number 10, I have Abdul Carter, the linebacker from Penn State, going to the Chicago Bears. So that's my draft order on where players is going to end up. So again, I have, even though Tennessee Titans have the first overall pick, I believe that the Las Vegas Raiders will trade for that first pick, and Shedeur Sanders will end up with the Raiders. Cleveland Browns, I have Travis Hunter going to the Cleveland Browns. The New York Giants, I have Carson Beck going to the New York Giants. I really believe that they're going to booster his draft stock, even though he had a shaky season. They do it every year. They did it last year with Will Levis. They did it the year prior with another quarterback. They did it the year prior with Daniel Jones. They have a history of boosting quarterbacks who are not ready to an upper echelon area. So I got Carson Beck going to the Giants at number 4. I got T2 Murray McMillan going to the New England Patriots. At number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe that they will draft Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan. At number 7, based on that trade, Tennessee Titans will draft Cam Ward. That was number 6. At number 7, New York Jets will draft James Pierce. At number 8, Colorado Panthers will draft Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle from Texas. At number 9, New Orleans Saints will draft Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. At number 10, Chicago Bears will draft Abdul Carter, linebacker from Penn State. Now, some people are saying, well, what about Ashton Jeanty? I mean, Ashton Jeanty, I tell you what, I tell you what, I can see. You know what? You know what I'll do, because I'm telling you, I really believe that the Giants will draft Carson Beck, but me personally, I would substitute Ashton Genty for Carson Beck. I would do that. I would do that. I would do that because of the value. So if they can't get Carson Beck's value as high as that they could draft him at number 3, then Ashton Genty, that won't even be an argument, because most people would think like, okay, we bring in Ashton Genty, he could do the same things as Saquon Barkley. So we got Ashton Genty, and then we got Malik Neighbors on the outside. Let's let this young man cook, or get a quarterback in the second round, third round, because you're going to have suitable quarterbacks, even though the grades will be different. But I think people will be lined up in that second round to draft Kyle McCord. And if they don't want to go the Kyle McCord route, then guess what? Bring back the guy that you had that played the last 2 games. He didn't look half bad. He was a high draft pick at one point himself. He threw for 300 yards in one of the games, or whatever the case may be. Let him cook. If he has a terrible season, then you're back at it again, really drafting a quarterback. But having talent matters. What's the purpose of drafting a quarterback if you don't have talent? So if they say we're not going to draft Carson Beck, we're going to draft Ashton Genty instead. Ashton Genty, Malik Neighbors is some damn good foundational players that you could build around once you find your foundational quarterback, your franchise quarterback. So, but we know the Giants, y'all. They're gonna do something that just doesn't make sense. What I'm saying makes sense. What I'm saying makes sense. They won't draft Cam Ward. They won't draft him. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And when it happens, and y'all pull this clip back up, so, but that's what I believe. I believe that they won't do it. Ashton Genty is a great player. I would rather have the better player than just a player at need. So some people like, but we need a quarterback. Right, but the value of the quarterback and of the talent doesn't match. Same thing with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. Would you rather have Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones? But we need a quarterback. But what would you rather have? You'd rather have the better player. People that build football teams rather have more talent. It's just simple. Simple, simple, simple. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in for this episode, the freestyle episode. Again, we talked about, just to recap, we talked about Joy Taylor lawsuit, Fox Sports, Skip Bayless, and Mr. Dixon's lawsuit from Mrs. Farahi, former employee of Mrs. Farahi that used to be a makeup artist, hairstylist. We also talked about the New York City Congestion Relief Plan, or congestion pricing that went into effect. And we talked about the NFL draft order and players that will be available for each position. So I want to thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all always a blast. Thank y'all for commenting, being engaged, and showing that love. Again, like, subscribe, hit that all notification bell. You just never know when I'll pop up. Also, make sure y'all tap in live every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? Make sure y'all tap in, stay engaged. Also, check out the membership portion of our page, because different memberships, different access, and you just never know when we're gonna pop up and give y'all this good love, good information. Also, we on the road to 10,000 subs on this channel. So again, like, subscribe, and share. Hit that all notification bell. We about a little over 9,100 right now, so we're trying to get to 10,000 subs. Also, a big thank y'all for supporting my album, Ready to Live. In particular, the Juicy song. It just went over 100,000 streams on Spotify alone. That's fire. And also, I'm about 800 streams away from 100,000 on the song Trophy Room on that same album, Ready to Live. So thank y'all for supporting the album. It's on every music platform, but Spotify, you know, they show them numbers. So again, thank y'all for supporting me and my music. Also, again, want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested to become one of the sponsors of the show, hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. And for those who are not familiar with my music, make sure you type in Ashley Lovechild on any music platform. I got bangers, so just check it out. My favorite album right now is Ready to Live, so make sure y'all check that out. And don't forget to tap into the Overstand podcast every Monday at 9:30 on this channel. While Understand, where you can overstand every Monday. And again, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all been a blast. I love y'all to life, and it's about life culture, man, and sharing that good information, sharing that good energy, being able to have dialogue. So I'm out, and again, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. And don't forget to share. Y'all already know what time it is. It's love, and I'm out.